The University of South Africa prides itself for being the African university, shaping futures in the service of humanity. We congratulate all our students for having walked this journey with us. And today, we celebrate you for having successfully completed your qualifications. To you we say, Halala. To all our graduates and diplomandi in this ceremony, please pay attention to the following instructions. For degree qualifications, a graduations officer will signal degree candidates to rise and approach the stage. You will need to have your seat ticket and the yellow photography card in your right hand with your hood already draped over your shoulders. One of the official photography officers will take the yellow photography card from you.
By the virtue of the powers entrusted upon me this afternoon as the Acting Vice-Chancellor, I constitute this gathering a congregation of the University of South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we request that you join us in a silent prayer or any form of meditation through which you identify and worship your deity as we give thanks for the achievements being celebrated on this occasion. May you go on a silent prayer, please. Thank you. You may be seated. Sanbonan, Molweni, Trebelang, have one. Good afternoon, Jumbo. Ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, and most importantly, our proud graduates and their loved ones, it's my singular honor this afternoon and privilege to welcome you to this momentous graduation ceremony of the University of South Africa. My name is Professor Tenjiwe Meyiwa. I'm the Vice Principal responsible for research, postgraduate studies, innovation, and commercialization. I stand before you today, this afternoon, and humble and proudly so, as the Acting Vice-Chancellor, representing our esteemed Vice-Chancellor and Principal, Professor Puleng Linkabula. In her absentia, she sends apologies. And also she sends her warm wishes and heartfelt congratulations. I also serve on behalf of the Chancellor because the Chancellor is the custodian as well as the tutelar head of any university. The Chancellor, His Excellency Dr. Thabo Mbeki, also conveys and regrets that he could not be here this afternoon. But in spirit, he is celebrating with you, he tells me. I want to greet and acknowledge members of the UNISA Council and their partners, many of whom will be watching us on the World Wide Web. We're on YouTube as we speak right now. The executive and academic leadership of UNISA across various levels, the academic procession, guardians, funders, supporters, and our proud UNISA alumni, and the heartfelt greetings and acknowledgement to our graduating class of 2025. And I would like to acknowledge colleagues who are in our midst with me, who are accompanying me in carrying out this responsibility of officiating this afternoon. I acknowledge Mr. Mtebele, who is the Vice Principal responsible for operations and facilities, Mr. Sibego, Executive Director, Facilities, Professor Mahashwa, who is the acting registrar for this afternoon. He's responsible for draping. Of course, we drape virtually because we're already draped. I also acknowledge the college representatives. From the College of Science, Engineering and Technology, we have Professor Mamba, who's the Executive Dean of the college. Of course, we'll never remember all of these names, but because we're recording, this is going on our archives. And therefore, we want you, when you look back 10 years from now, 20, whatever the number of years, even your great-grandchildren, they go to these records and recall who was at this day officiating with me. I also acknowledge Prof. Ndo, the Director, School of Engineering at the College of Science, Engineering and Technology, is with me this afternoon. From the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences, we have the Executive Dean, Professor Mapodi, Dr. Siminya, and Dr. Ninwini, who are college representatives. And from the College of Education, we have Professor Makwe, who's the college executive dean. And from the Graduate School of Business Leadership, we have Professor Msweli, who's the CEO and executive dean of the college, who's also been sent by His Excellency Dr. Thabo Mbeki to present his speech. Also from the College of Graduate School of Business Leadership, we have Professor van der Poel. I should have possibly at some point requested you that because we're recording, we request that for a moment we just take about 5 seconds, take out our cell phones, please, whatever you call it, maybe mobile form of communicating with your people. I'm taking out my one right now. Put it on silent, please. Thank you. Also from the College of Graduate School of Business Leadership, we have Professor Tagada. I'll also want to acknowledge the red-gowned, soon-to-be doctors who belong to me because I'm responsible for them as a VP responsible for postgraduate students. They cease to be students though. These are Nomcebo Kumalo, Mayewa Ojo, Abram Grayling, Shubai Mureza, Getacheo, Emacho, Lucas Dursema, Trudy Fobe, our very own, Victor Mazinga, Wendy Mutabe Lezi, Suvo Ramgovit, and John Sermaya Zake. Apologies for ambushing their names. We will get to acknowledge you properly when your supervisors come up here. And I want to acknowledge the supervisors and congratulate them, Professors Mamba Dukmo Godro, Dukmo Gofo, Heading, Dr. Herrera Chokuda, Professor Mlidwa, Professor Fenter, Professor Mngoni, Professor Nicolaides, Professor Dr. Sitebi, Professor Mlidwa, again he appears twice, and Professor van der Poel. Well done, colleagues. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we gathered here not only to mark the culmination of academic journey, an academic journey that has not been easy, but to honor these graduates' perseverance, to honor their dreams. They've come to fruition, and this afternoon we're celebrating. A special word of gratitude goes to your families, parents, siblings, children, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, friends, partners, and even the beloved in-laws. Thank you for walking this journey with our graduates. Your support is woven into the degrees we offer them today. Today, the 26th of May, is deeply symbolic. It follows a closely, very celebratory day on the heels of Africa Day that we had yesterday. It means a lot for us. And in particular, we ended, or should I say started, depending on what you believe in, whether Sunday is the first or the last day of each week, we ended with freedom of 60 islands of Mauritius that were given back by the UK government and the kingdom to the Mauritians. Some of you may have wondered, do we still have so many of the African continent's lands in the hands of the colonizers? Yes, we still do. We're not going to go there. You go do your own research. But Africa Day was yesterday, and for us, for that to happen in the month of May, which is Africa Month, it's worth celebrating. So your graduation happens, you'll possibly recall this, that you graduated today, just in almost 3 days. of 60 islands given back to Mauritius by the colonizers, the British. So it's a big day for you. But did you know also that it was on this day, this 26th of May in 1963, that the OAU, at the time it was called Organization of African Unity, it was formally found in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. So your day is a very significant one, graduates. The OAU, the forerunner of today's African Union, I'm not going to bore you about that. You should know it if you are a proper African. And all the statements that have been made leading to the 2063 persuasions about strength, resolve, all our forebearers being there. And indeed, as Chancellor Thabo Mbeki reminds us, I want to open quotes, we should never become despondent because the weather's bad, nor should we turn triumphalist because the sun shines, a close quote. Let us remain grounded, humble, and resolute, as you have done throughout your studies. This afternoon, we will be conferring degrees on a variety of our graduates, as well as diplomas. You are forming a part of a cohort of more than 50,000 students that we're graduating at UNISA this year, including the upcoming spring graduations. This moment is a crowning glory for UNISA. More than 150 years, of course, strong in doing so. We are true, indeed, a mega university with close to 500,000 students and campuses across the country and beyond the borders of this country and existence beyond the shores of the African continent. Truly, the world is our campus at UNISA. Our ceremony should last for about 2.5 hours or thereabout, but I rely on you to ensure that I meet this time and expect you to walk along with me when we celebrate each student, each graduate. As soon as the next one is on the podium, please stop celebrating your one so that you can hear and record the name of the next one. For the records to properly record, for their greatest grandchildren to listen to our records and also hear their name. That's very important. But let me tell you that this ceremony has 6 parts. It sounds a lot, but it's a very short ceremony. The formal welcome is what I'm doing now. I'm about to end that. And then thereafter, there shall be the Chancellor's address, which shall be presented by Prof. Msweli, sent by the Chancellor. The next shall be the presentation of the hooding of graduates. You look good. I'm glad that you've taken yourself this seriously this time around. Some of you have seen before, but the first time that I'm seeing you in bow ties and high heels and all of that. Thank you for taking yourselves as seriously as we take you. Then we will have you coming up here. Please make use of the red carpet. It's a moment for each one of you to walk the red carpet. We're recording you. We have a number of cameras that we've spent a lot of money on, so please disappoint us not. Then we'll have closing remarks, the national anthem, then the last one will be the recessional academic procession will dissolve the congregation. To our graduates, I want to say you've walked a difficult and meaningful journey, often in the face of competing responsibilities. Being a UNISA student is not easy, you all know. We hardly see you, or I should have said, it's nice to finally meet you. Most of you at least. Today you've prevailed, you've shown your prevalence. You actually are going to be standing here with your certificate in hand, or received afterwards, of course. But what that means, it means a transformed life. Today, you are about to be transformed, to be degreed, to be diplomaed. Well done. You've made a difficult but yet a very powerful choice to learn, to change, and to lead. And as the author Elizabeth Gilbert wisely said once, I open quotes, when you are at the edge of change, you must choose. Evolve or remain, a close quote. You chose to evolve. Well done. That's the choice backed by your action of agency, and we celebrate you for that. In my language, isiZulu, we say, inkunzi isematholeni. What that means is that the bull emerges from calves. You are those calves that have become bulls. Sexist as this may be, and coming from a feminist scholar. The leaders of tomorrow you are, the leaders of today you are. Indeed, indlela ibuzwa kwabaphambili. You have demonstrated that, meaning the road ahead is best understood by learning from those that have come before you. You would not have been read down today had you not listened and concurred and submitted and resubmitted and thought, is my life dependent on this thing? Masters and doctoral students, you know what I'm talking about. So I urge you, all our guests, please, every single graduate is important. The very first one to the very last one. The reason they're positioned like this is because of nothing of their own making, but it's because of their program and it's because of their surname. The fact that you are Ulu, Zulu, whatever the last alphabet is, it's not your making. Let's respect the very first graduate in the same manner as the last graduate. It's a very short ceremony. Thank you for promising me, pinky promise, to do that. Let's just ensure that we are change makers ourselves, as family members, just like our graduates, that they are change makers. Thank you, Ngiyabonga, Kaliboko Nzankensa, Danki Nkosi, Asante Sana. Prof. Msweli, over to the stage on behalf of the Chancellor, please. Thank you.
Chancellor of the University of South Africa, Dr. Thabo Mbeki, it is indeed a great pleasure to stand in your big shoes to deliver the Chancellor's address. Members of UNISA Council present today, Acting Vice Chancellor, Professor Meyiwa, and our Vice Chancellor, Professor Buleng Lingabula, executive directors and directors of portfolios present here today, members of MENCOM, executive deans and deputy executive deans present this afternoon, graduation office colleagues responsible for staging such an illustrious mega event, honored guests, esteemed faculty, proud sponsors and partners, proud parents, families, spouses, and most importantly, our remarkable graduates. Every single one of you should be bursting with absolute joy and pride. And so too are all of us Unisans. A hearty congratulations to you all. In case you didn't know, you give us and our university the vitality, the spark, the energy, and the edge that drives us with sense of purpose and mission. Today we gather to celebrate an extraordinary milestone, the culmination, as the Acting Vice Chancellor has already said, culmination of years of dedication, resilience, and intellectual pursuit. To our doctoral candidates, to our master's and postgraduate candidates, and to all our graduates, you made it. You must give yourselves a big hand of applause. The Vice-Chancellor has already said it. You arrived here with a dream, a spark of curiosity, a desire to push boundaries, or a vision to make a difference. Along the way, you transformed challenges into triumphs. You transformed questions into discoveries and ideas into impact. You are the impact that UNISA strives for. Whether you advanced human knowledge through groundbreaking research, your dissertation, your thesis that possibly has already been published in conference papers, or whether you have mastered the complexities of your disciplines or honed skills to lead in your field, your journey has been nothing short of inspiring the beautiful families that you brought together here to celebrate your achievements. To our valued sponsors and partners, your generosity and vision made this journey possible. You invested not just in individuals, but in the future, in innovation. You invested in progress and in the betterment of society. Today's success, graduates, is yours and ours and the parents and the sponsors to share. So a hearty congratulations to you all. The future is yours to shape. I've titled my Chancellor's address, Navigating and Coping in the World of Tariffs, Borders, Algorithms, and Wars. And I'm going to share just a few insights. It's not an exhaustive list, but it's something that you can take home as you navigate this complex world. First is empathize. You will be leading teams, portfolios, institutions, countries. Lead with humanity in this world that is wired with artificial intelligence and technology, because technology lacks heart. Number two, build bridges in this age of wars and conflicts. Connection is our superpower, and it is your superpower. Number three, challenge the biased algorithms, because they are biased. And most of all, demand more from the algorithms and more from yourself than demanding from anyone else. We live in the world where we talk of measurement. Measure human impact, not only income and expenditure of all the decisions you make. They have a face, they have a child, the decisions you make have a family, they have a community, they have society. Unite, do not divide, do not fuel conflict. There is enough conflict in the world. Please do not bring it in our passages, in our boardrooms, in our meetings. Africa alone has about 5 conflicts. There's a conflict in Sudan, in Ethiopia, in DRC, we've heard of M23 in Somalia. In Mozambique, we've heard what's going on in Cabo Delgado. In Cameroon, in Middle East, we know the painful genocide in the Gaza Strip and the West Bank tensions, where people are massacred on a daily basis. Let's send prayers to them. In Syria, there's an ongoing, maybe a little respite for now, but there's been an ongoing civil war. In Yemen, The Yemenis have been out in the streets fighting. In Iraq, in Europe, there's a Russia-Ukraine war going on, and all we need is peace. Let us fuel, or rather make peace the winner, not the war. Number 8, there will be a lot of chaos. There will be failures in systems. As a graduate of UNISA, be calm. Be calm and have steady hands when systems fail, because they do fail sometimes. Number 9, always adapt to change. Change is something that we live with. We all know that the only thing that we can be sure of that will happen to us every minute, every moment is change. So you have to stay agile, and not expect others to change without yourself interrogating your capacities to change. Number 10 is very important, is unlearn. Let go of outdated ideas to make room for growth. Number 11, listen. I think we are given 2 ears and 1 mouth because we have to listen twice as much as we speak. The loudest voice isn't always the wisest. Push back, number 12, against shortcuts that compromise ethics. We forget ethics. We go for the line of the least resistance, and yet societies exist because there have been principled leaders in those societies. Be always grounded in the midst of chaos and stay anchored in the purpose no matter what. My closing thought, you graduate, as my title has illustrated, into a world on fire. Remember, fire melts old metal in order to forge new one, and new tools, new metals, new tools, new protocols, new ways of being. Don't just survive this era of conflict and war and artificial intelligence and algorithms. Redefine the world with the knowledge you got at the University of South Africa. And so as you step into the next chapter, graduates, remember this. You are now the torchbearers of knowledge, the architects of change, and the leaders our world needs. Whether you go to lead an institution, a portfolio, a team, or whether you go to create an art and innovation, or you build bridges across disciplines, carry with you the courage to ask, what if? And the tenacity to say, why not? Do it with honor, do it with integrity. Remember where you come from. You come from the University of South Africa, a university in service of humanity. And I thank you, and a hearty congratulations, and thank you.
Wow. Prof. Msweli, we may want to have that speech on behalf of the Chancellor posted somewhere for our graduates and possibly everybody in this room to go to at some point. What stood out for me from the speech are 3 things. Empathize, challenge the bias, do not fuel conflict. In essence, just like today, the Organization of the African Unity, members led by Kwame Nkrumah, leading to the African Union, are saying, let's prioritize peace, let the guns be silent. And the guns did not necessarily be the guns from externally. Some guns are within people's hearts and minds and values that are questionable and unethical. The Chancellor's speech has called for make peace the winner. Thank you. Colleagues, please close the door. Settle down. By the virtue of the powers entrusted upon me this afternoon as the Acting Vice-Chancellor, I shall now proceed to confer the degrees and diplomas of the University on the candidates whose names appear in the program, and I request the representatives of the colleges to present the candidates to me. Colleagues.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Nomcebo Pearl Khumalo for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I was a candidate supervisor, and it is now my privilege to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree. In her thesis entitled Nanostructured Hollow Fiber Membranes for Carbon Dioxide Removal from Mixed Gases using a gas-liquid membrane contactor, using quantitative methods, she addresses the challenge of developing novel processes for carbon dioxide capture in a gas-liquid membrane contactor. She explores the use of wasted expanded polystyrene for the fabrication of novel hollow fiber membranes and improves on carbon dioxide absorption using nanofluids as alternatives to the commonly applied amine-based solutions. The results demonstrate that polystyrene improves membrane surface properties and hence CO2 absorption kinetics, resulting in its improved separation from mixed gases and its subsequent capture. Upon further optimization, the knowledge developed in this study can be adopted for carbon dioxide emitting industries such as Eskom and Sasol. The study was done and co-supervised with Professor M.M. Motsa. Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Nomcebo Pearl Khumalo the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Nomcebo Pearl Khumalo. Congratulations, Dr. Khumalo.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Mayowa Michael Ojo for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I request his supervisor, Professor Doug Mogofu, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
Thank you, Professor. In his thesis entitled Investigating the Impact of Coronavirus Disease, COVID-19, on the Dynamics of Some Endemic Diseases, a mathematical model approach, he developed and critically analyzed 4 mathematical models related to the co-dynamics and the co-infection of COVID-19 with other endemic diseases, including tuberculosis, TB, malaria, cholera, and influenza. The study highlights the impact of the COVID-19 outbreak on the overall burden of these endemic diseases in human population. For instance, when COVID-19 and malaria are at endemic equilibrium, the prevalence of co-infection increases the burden of COVID-19 in a population while reducing the incidence of malaria. The research further demonstrates that the most effective way to reduce the prevalence of, for an example, COVID-19 and influenza in a population involve the use of threefold control interventions, namely non-pharmaceutical intervention, COVID-19 vaccination, and influenza vaccination.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Mayowa Michael Ojo the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Mayowa Michael Ojo. Congratulations, Dr. Ojo.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, I have an honor to introduce to you Abraham Karel Greylen for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I request his supervisor, Prof. Heading, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
In his thesis entitled Geomorphometric Assessment of the Drakensberg Escarpment in Lesotho Highlands, Implications for Landscape Evolution, he develops novel geomorphometric indices to analyze landscape evolution of passive margins, assessing tectonics, incision, and denudation. These geomorphometric indices are applied to the Great Escarpment of Southern Africa, comprising a large igneous province formed during the breakup of Gondwana around 183 million years ago. The findings show that erosion is highest at the escarpment edge and on valley sides, while the Lesotho Highlands experience low erosion but high chemical weathering. In addition, river retreat dominates landscape evolution, followed by influenced by sandstone formations and dolerite intrusions.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Abraham Karel Greylen the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Abraham Karel Greyling. Congratulations, Dr. Greyling.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Shaval Moreza for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I request his co-supervisor, Dr. Smith, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
In a thesis entitled Effects of Magnet Force Energy and Ultraviolet Radiation on Animal Feed Preservation, she investigated the utilization of magnetic force energy and ultraviolet radiation for preserving animal feed to mitigate food wastage along the meat and milk value chain and prevent potential harm to humans. The findings showed that the daily exposure of stock feeds to the UV radiation energy and magnetic forces retarded microbial growth without altering the molecular structure of proteins and carbohydrates of the feed, potentially enhancing shelf life. Nevertheless, further investigation is required to assess the impact of nutrient stability under the prolonged exposure. Overall, these methods are cost-effective to the farmers and can significantly improve feed preservation, therefore improving the efficiencies and viability of livestock businesses.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Shaval Moreza the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Shaval Moreza. Congratulations, Dr. Moreza.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Geteye Terefi Ametatau for the degree of Doctor of Business Leadership. I request his supervisor, Professor N.B.W. Mlitwa, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
In his thesis entitled Contemporary Leadership and Individual and Group Behavior in Public Universities of Ethiopia, Geteye assessed the effects of contemporary leadership on individual and group behavior in Ethiopian universities. Recognizing that no leadership style exists in isolation, he drew on multiple theories of leadership by Santos and Gonzalez to analyze influential interlinkages between leadership styles used by the leaderships of public universities in culturally diverse environments. Using a pragmatic methodological approach, he investigated this leadership phenomenon across 42 public and 5 private universities in Ethiopia. His findings highlight the importance of focusing either on a single leadership style or a combination of leadership styles, depending on the context, cultural realities, and the operational objectives of an institution.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Geteye Terefi Ametatau the degree of Doctor of Business Leadership.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Business Leadership on Geteye Terefi Ametatau. Congratulations, Dr. Geteye.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Lucas Dirsema for the degree of Doctor of Business Leadership. The candidate's supervisor was Professor Fenter, and it is now my privilege to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree. In his thesis entitled Advancing Strategic Excellence, Defining the Strategic Management Capability Maturity Model, he performed a critical review of literature to develop an initial conceptual framework of strategic management maturity that guided the study. This was followed by an iterative qualitative inquiry involving strategic management academics and practitioners in South Africa and Ethiopia, which led to the development and refinement of a comprehensive strategic management capability maturity model. This thesis broadens our understanding of how maturity models can be used to drive strategic management improvement. It ultimately provides a practical, systematic tool for organizations to assess and improve their strategic management capabilities. Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Lucas Dirsema the degree of Doctor of Business Leadership.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Business Leadership on Lucas Dirsema. Congratulations, Dr. Dirsema.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, it is such an honor to introduce you to Trudy Rhoda Forbey, a unison in executive management for the degree of Doctor of Business Leadership. I request her supervisor, Professor Peliwe P. Mnguni, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
In her thesis entitled The Other Blacks, an intersectional perspective on the lived experiences of colored women leaders within South African organizations, she uses constructivist grounded theory to explore the lived experiences of colored women leaders. The overall findings reveal that a strong intersection between race and gender negatively affected participants' lived experiences of leadership, while personal factors and self-narratives mediated participants' perceptions of success. Organizational and societal factors fostered workplace cultures that reinforced their feelings of alienation and marginalization. The study's main contribution is a conceptual framework underpinned by intersectionality. The framework serves to inform an inclusive approach to gender transformation practice and scholarship in South Africa and beyond.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Trudy Rhoda Forbey the degree of Doctor of Business Leadership. Yay. Congratulations.
Wow. Well done, Trudy. I confer the degree of Doctor of Business Leadership on Trudy Rhoda Forbey. Congratulations, Dr. Forbey.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Victor Madzinga for the degree of Doctor of Business Leadership. I have the pleasure of reading Victor Madzinga's citation. His supervisor was Professor Nicolaides, who is not here today. In his thesis, entitled A Marketing Framework for Religious Organizations Based on a Multi-Ethnic Community in Zimbabwe, he crafted a marketing framework for religious organizations, given that the existing marketing frameworks are deemed to be inappropriate for a complex phenomenon such as religion. The research was guided by the pragmatist philosophy which drew from interpretivism, positivism, and significantly from postmodernism. The study used a sequential explanatory research design. The findings of the study established deliverance and salvation. The religion market could be segmented into the findings of the study established 5 basic religious needs, constituting a continuum, namely economic welfare, social well-being, aesthetics, deliverance, and salvation. The religion market could be segmented into 3, namely youth, middle age, and old age, and the factors behind church migrations mirrored religious needs. Various causes of church schisms were identified. Recommendations included a needs-based marketing mix for each of the identified market segments and other guidelines. Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Victor Madzinga the degree of Doctor of Business Leadership. Congratulations.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Business Leadership on Victor Madzinga. Congratulations, Dr. Madzinga.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Wendy Mutimbwa Mutabelezi for the degree of Doctor of Business Leadership. I request her supervisor, Dr. T.G. Sitibe, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
In her thesis entitled A Model on the Nature of the Relationship Between Transformational Leadership, Transactional Leadership, Entrepreneurial Leadership, and the Innovation Process, she examined the complex interplay between leadership style and innovation and organizational innovation within the financial services sector. Employing a mixed method approach, she investigated the role of employee innovation and organizational climate. She contributed to the leadership and innovation literature by developing a model explaining how leadership influences innovation. The study provides key theoretical and practical insight, emphasizing structured innovation processes for competitiveness. Her findings have been published in the academic journal and presented at an international conference.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Wendy Mutimbwa Mutabelezi the degree of Doctor of Business Leadership.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Business Leadership on Wendy Mutimba Mudabelezi. Congratulations, Dr. Mudabelezi.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you Suvel Ramgovind for the degree of Doctor of Business Leadership. I request his supervisor, Professor N.B.W. Mlitwa, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
In his thesis entitled Digital Transformation and its Impact on the Competitiveness of the South African Pharmaceutical Industry, a Global Perspective, Suvel Ramgovind assessed the effects of digital transformation, specifically the integration of the Fourth Industrial Revolution innovations into the South African pharmaceutical industry, on the industry's competitiveness. From an actor network theory perspective, he sought to gain insight into the comparative impact of digitization on the pharmaceutical industry in South Africa by conducting semi-structured interviews with global experts on enterprise resource planning systems with a pharmaceutical interest. This qualitatively interpretive study produced groundbreaking findings, highlighting unique characteristics of barriers that require special attention to enable impactful digital rollouts in the industry, especially in newly digitizing environments.
Madam Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on Suvel Ramgovind the degree of Doctor of Business Leadership.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Business Leadership on Suvel Ramgovind. Congratulations, Dr. Ramgovind.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to introduce to you John Mugambwa Serumakazake for the degree of Doctor of Business Leadership. I request his supervisor, Professor J. van der Poel, to read the citation in support of the conferment of the degree.
The fourth industrial revolution, the 4IR, presents a transformative opportunity for resource-constrained manufacturing, small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs. In his thesis, A Framework for the Adoption of 4IR Technologies in South African Manufacturing SMEs, John conducts a comprehensive review of scholarly literature and, through qualitative propositions, develops a conceptual framework for 4IR adoption by South African manufacturing SMEs. Interviews with 9 South African manufacturing SMEs enhance the framework, and it is further validated through a conceptual case study. The framework guides SMEs through a structured approach to 4IR adoption. His research constitutes an original and valuable contribution towards the adoption of the 4IR by SMEs.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer on John Mugambwa Serumakazake the degree of Doctor of Business Leadership.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Business Leadership on John Mugambwa Serumakazake. Congratulations, Dr. Serumakazake.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates receive the degree of Master of Science. Nompa Innocentia Makongoza. Tlaleme Seho Matlwa obtained the degree with distinction. Tabiso Mateo. Emmanuel Gardner Zignoro.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates receive the degree of Master of Business Leadership. Kanyisa Hanisi. Daruni Enkia. Johannes Liteba Bubape is a Unison, is a staff member, and congratulations. Alistair Roger Davids, congratulations. Boichoko Abraham Ditlake. Andre Natalie Ahrens. Ladies and gentlemen, Kashri Govenda obtained her degree with distinction, her MBL with distinction. Well done. Simnikiwe Gudla. Konanani Prince Kaku. Congratulations. Msizi Kumalo. Rukanani Florence Mabunda. Ladies and gentlemen, Edgar Moses Otiano Macadol obtained his degree with distinction, his master's in business leadership with distinction. Well done. Collins Mahadzwa. Patuqolo Mapisa. Pindile Miriam Masemula. Well done. Mlungisi Matanzima. Well done. Pindiwe Audrey Mazomba. Well done. Khanyisa Mbelekane. Khanyisa Mbelekane. Kwena Philippus Muabelo. Lokadia Mulukhadi Mulife. Well done. Graham Hussein Mutala. Gabriel Mutselu. Oli Mudzanani. Well done. Linda Muswaka. Well done. Veneshri Naidu. Musawenkosi Ernest Ndlovu. Mnikazi Zamikhaya Ngubane. Tondi Nkuna. Mvusi Patrick Nkunkuma. Lungile Loyiso Ntobe. Ngondi Songezo Ngokwana. Tsitsi Nyanongo. Kense Betha Ramila. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to a unison who is graduating with a Master in Business Leadership, Makalo Ranthokwana. Congratulations. Ricardo Terry Reyners. Kia Obaka, Ompile, Precious Sishoka. Congratulations. Batabile Sililo. Veli Patrick Tobela. Wadi. How do you pronounce it? Tsepo Wadipeba. Congratulations. Hazel Fadzai Ziwange. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Master of Business Administration. Limukhang David Badirwang. Congratulations. Ntlamalani Lydia Baloyi. Tebucho Butlale. Tinashe Choto. John Muraya Gitinji. Devoted Gomba Komba. Sabelo Guma. I would like to introduce you to another Unison, a staff member, Nondobeko Bongiwe Gwangwa. Congratulations. Aubrey Koza. Ndamo Nongenda, Lomboleni Kunyenga. Pumeza Trudy Lihodi. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to Thabo Raymond Litabe, who obtained his master's in business administration with distinction. Congratulations. Kakanyo Mabaso. Diloshni Maharaj. Colin Makubele. Sebenzile Lodwick Makubele. Simon Vincent Kabelo Maloka. Linsley Masimbe. Mamatsebe Tix Machokocha. Permission Likhadimane Matlakala. Ruzani Matodzi. Notando Mkandawire. Nokulunga Patricia Mkwanazi. Well done. Matabo Faith Mngadi. Mutla Khumang Mabel Muatlodi. Maggie Lidile Mukoka. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for Vinolia Khumutso Mulite, who obtained her Master's in Business Administration with distinction. Mpo Roda Mushapo. Well done. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in congratulating Ntabiseng Mutona, who obtained Masters in Business Administration with distinction. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to introduce Apiwe Mtanganyi, a staff member at DSAR. Congratulations. N. Mugabagabe Ndaba. Congratulations. Vutomi Valentine Nkuna. Nandipa Nomake. Raphael Ntlantla Nzama. Tembeka Oliphant. Mashupe City Pashamushaka. Congratulations. Natasha Pillay. Congratulations. Tabo Sean David Sikawelelo. Ntombikhona Ncane Sibiya. Fortune Malishwane Tladi. Congratulations. Poncho Brilliant Kiane. Congratulations. Chifiwa Emmanuel Chizumba. Zwakele Lawrence Twala. Murabane Aubrey Yuane. Murabane Aubrey Yuane. Josiah Benias Washaya. Shopo Cry Zita. Tandiwe Nono Zungu.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Engineering Technology Honours. Diego Mahlako Diketane received the degree with distinction. Tumishang Maputla. Akona Ngana. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Science Honours. Clinton Masocha Baloyi. Dimakatso Thelma Baloyi. Moronchiwa Rikedomotsiwe Vivecia Ditluweleng. Andile Tato Hexana. Connie Kanyane Khapola. Muama Ali Khan. Motupi Godfrey Mafogo. Johannes Makatani. Hlengiwe Maluleke. Kagiso Matlala. Makwala Clotlit Moraswi obtains the degree with distinction. Tanaka Benson Munjanja. Tabiso Colin Piri. Tumelo Margaret Ratau. Trish Tripetio. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor Sipumzi Machoba receives the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Honours.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates receive the degree of Bachelor of Arts Honours. Nkululeko Taksang Makam. Congratulations. Nkolisi Patrick Ndlovu. Okay, congratulations. Okay, congratulations. Sibongile Mary Nleya. Congratulations. Congratulations. Ntando Yenkosi Tabisile Zikali. Congratulations. 55. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates receive the degree of Bachelor of Science Honours. Anike Chauke. Tia Bianca Dean. Congratulations. Congratulations. Rivoningo Dlamini. Congratulations. Godfrey Tumisho Mamecha. Congratulations. Lindiwe Mnikati. Tumisang Mokhowe. Dineo Mohadi. Congratulations. Innocentia Mabato Ntebase Morake. Congratulations. Ndubo Mufamadi. Patience Nam Mukhe. Tanya Rudo Mugonda. Thank you. Lutendo Austin Molauzi. Congratulations. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, Vadia Naidu obtained the degree with distinction. Mapula Constance Palang. Byron Dane Post. Congratulations. Joyce Manare Rasheku. Congratulations. Congratulations. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor Matodzi Rambau obtained the degree with distinction. Anza Chivase. Congratulations. Kanyisile Ritumetse Twala. Congratulations.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidate received the degree of Bachelor of Science in the College of Science, Engineering and Technology. Maxine Tracy Jordan. Josandrine Lube. Tebogo Joshua Mabusela. Naushad Mahomed Ali. Justus Majoni. Mzwandile Nico Gabriel Malongete. Tsepo Malope. Tsepo Kenneth Muraki. Umpile Khalelelo Mutsipe. Mukundiwa Ronewa Nwashe. Gaugelo Catherine Poloba. Jean Pire Rasu. Sorry. Chipo Beauty Sandazi. What is this? Ruan Quinel Sneyman. Mduduzi Elijah Tandekwayo. Sango Puti Yapi. Wendy Matsepe Baloi. Riaz Eric Dunster. Moeketsi Mashoko. Newton Theodore Nathaniel.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Science in the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences. Georgette Nicoline Albanza. Tawanda Wesley Madondo. Atalia Nkele Machoma. Mulalo Makwarela. Mbalekwa Samuel Masango. Koketso Mina Mutung. Neo Mutlaju. Kaira Mula. Witumelo Ngobeni. Khomotso Nyamakazi. Notando Precious Miranda Nzima. Patricia Nonkululeko Sileto. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates receive the degree of Bachelor of Consumer Science. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, Jadine Alexandra Farina receives the degree with distinction. Portia Magaya. Renee Mativa. Finance Joy Mpo Sumkanda. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Arts in the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences. Bridget Dube. Tepiso Uriel Khobani. Miranda Tandaza Lubisi. Palesa Seboga.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the diploma candidate will now be introduced to you. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidate receives the postgrad diploma in the College of Science, Engineering and Technology. Mpaname Prince Rahata. Takusani Rasibaga.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the postgraduate diploma in the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, Mancha Ketso Leshalabe receives the diploma with distinction. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, Khonti Francina Madisha receives the degree with distinction. Ke amogetswe Mike Tswani. Kamogelo Mathapelo Matlapa.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the postgraduate diploma in the Graduate School of Business Leadership. Nombuso Petunia Butelezi. Kelsey Cameron. Sizakele Emelda Kosa. Temba Sibusiso Fagude. Ngobile Carol Gumbi. Very proud to introduce Owen Gwande, who obtained his postgraduate diploma with distinction. Well done. Musawenkosi Hadebe. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, let us congratulate Tiani Prudence Hlungwane, who obtained her postgraduate diploma with distinction. Lamkelo Jaqa. Congratulations. Nelisiwe Betty Giane. Very proud to introduce to you Ndombizetu Londeka Koza, who obtained her postgraduate diploma with distinction. Liola. Peter Rakwena Liola. Ndoweni Gessen Lidobo. Congratulations. Wow. I'm very excited to introduce Ntila Mabunda, who obtained her postgraduate diploma with distinction. Mangata Machaba. Congratulations. Ngunopiana Teni Madiba. Ngitsing Phineas Mahopela. Amukelani Anna Patience Makubela. Mandisa Nospiwe Makutla. Spetile Endless Malale. Well done. Very proud to introduce a Unison, a staff member, Simpiwe Madoda Mangele. Matsileng Florina Mabonya. Well done. Ifi Voice Marageni. Congratulations. Bongeka Mboi. Well done. Ladies and gentlemen, Eskin Mdone obtained his postgraduate diploma with distinction. Well done. Zamabongwe Meme. Edwin Giorabetsi Mutibi. Dineo Mbinga. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Mfarelo Shifiwa Mokeli, who obtained his postgraduate diploma with distinction. Dumisani Zamani Miende. Ladies and gentlemen, Spesihle Nene obtained his postgraduate diploma with distinction. Congratulations. Luyanda Nodwala. Very proud to introduce Simon Tabo Nomvele, who obtained his postgraduate diploma with distinction. Matsidiso Regina Nzau. Elias Muholo Pizzo. Tumelo Ramalapa. Ladies and gentlemen, Sesh Ramraten obtained his postgraduate diploma with distinction. Well done. Anton Gerard Roche. Congratulations. Adrosia Amukelani Shilubane. Edith Shivuri obtained her postgraduate diploma with distinction. Sibongile Catherine Sipiwe Sibia. Yashin Singh. Well done. Mama Candy Skay. Lutando Cecil Damba. Delia Pebetse Jao. Carol Chabane. Lufuno Precious Chitahe. Wells Robert Utembe.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the diploma in the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences. Megan de Klerk. Matlatsi Daphne Kodibona. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, Gugu Destiny Matlangu receives diploma with distinction. Precious Catherine Matlangu. Sekhale Esli Manyama. Lebogang Mashishi. Mapula Lisbeth Matlo. Huitimang Mutwani. Patience Mulaudzi. Vusani Munyai. Kabelo Aisanaka. Unarine Valencia Nemgomoni. Shumani Lawrence Nesingani. Mulalo Nebongoni. Zetu Anele Ntuli. Katlego Radipabe.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidate received the diploma in the College of Science, Engineering and Technology. Ashley Christabel Driwayo. Siyanda Ndweba. Ludwig Franz Stephanus Grise. Tinyiko Aleta Hosana. Dikenkeng Disobe Khaile. Selina Mampuleng Kharametsane. Koketso Alucia Libona. Kgaugelo Likhobocha. Mantobo Velesita Mankinta. Dumisani Petunia Maluleka.
Can I just, sorry, Prof. Parents, graduates, please don't leave the hall. It's rude. Colleagues, please close the doors. Security, please do your work.
Dumisani Petunia Maluleke. Lirato Queen Masenya. Sizakele Nonkululeko Mbatha. Owaheng Libuhang Moikabi. Mandisa Kuku Mpela. Nokuthula Ngobo. Tlo Edis Nochana. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, Nontombeko Nyuswa obtained the diploma with distinction. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, Michael Sean Rapa obtained the diploma with distinction. Israel Rachili. Tendo Mildred Taraga. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidate received the national diploma. Ditiro Ntate Mutlanka. Mpho Katlego Tsubane.
We wait for all our graduates to be seated. That's how much we value you. Without you, there'll be no UNISA. Our graduates, our students, make us. Paul, the apostle, says, whatever you do your work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for human masters. That's Colossians 3, verse 23. I'll want to believe that all other religions take heart to thanking people. So this last session is about, the last but one session is about thanking you. Thank you for your resilience. We've actually done this within the time that I had promised. Thank you, colleagues, for your efficiency. And thank you for respecting yourself and staying behind. I'm very pleased with my doctoral degreed doctors. We didn't have to tell you to stay. It's because you know how long these things take. And you've stood the time. Hence, you red-gowned today. It's a deep honor for me and privilege to extend heartfelt congratulations again to all our graduates from all our colleges. As you'll see, my colleagues, what they are wearing in terms of their gowns reverberates in color our graduates from the colleges of Science, Engineering, and Technology, College of Agriculture, Environmental Sciences, Graduate School of Business Leadership, and did I leave any college? Those are the three colleges that we had. Yeah, I'm just looking at the colors. Didn't leave any college. All tend to be my colleges. I'm proud of you, colleagues. Well done. Today you join a distinguished family, a family of over 1 million UNISA alumni, a network that stretches across South Africa, within the African continent, and the world at large. We exist in over 150 countries. That's how far students of UNISA are drawn from. During this graduation season alone, we should be graduating about half of 50,000. Some universities don't even have that number in their registers, including the visitors that come to see them. Over 3 years for that matter, some of them. So you graduate as part of this remarkable cohort. Earning a qualification through open distance and e-learning is no small feat, as you know. It demands discipline, demands resilience, demands sacrifice, demands hard work. For that, we salute you. UNISA graduates are shaping the world around the world. From the heads of states like the late President Nelson Mandela to the current President Cyril Ramaphosa, we trained them. To even the eminent academics, business leaders, cultural icons, from Jill Marcus, the very first woman that this country has seen to be a Reserve Bank governor, we trained her. To the current Reserve Bank governor, we trained him. And actually, we've been whispering to him as our student that let these things that he's been doing to get to grow our money, we appreciate him for lowering the interest rates quite repeatedly. Thanks. It's because we trained him. South Africa was to thank us. We want to acknowledge through the thought leaders like Thuli Madonsela to Basitsana Khumalo, we trained them. The list is quite long that is within the country. We are equally proud across the continent. It includes trailblazers from Ethiopia such as Getahum Garrett and Woknen Gebeyu. They are in the high offices within the governments of Ethiopia. Dear graduates, your journey has been long, and today is a celebration indeed of your perseverance. We therefore say thank you to you first and foremost. As Maya Angelou once said, surviving is important, but thriving is elegant, a close quote. You've demonstrated that elegance by thriving. Many of you, some of you who are not MNDs and possible not postgraduate students who have survived, even their proctoring tools. Well done. Some did not survive, so they did not walk the graduation stage this afternoon because we're still processing them. As you look further into your future, whether it's employment or entrepreneurship, remember that UNISA stands ready to continue to support you. Through Inhlanyelo Hub, Inhlanyelo Innovation Hub, we offer platforms for entrepreneurship, mentorship, and practical business opportunities to help you transition from learning to leading to earning money to owning companies, should you not be already employed. Let me close with a reminder from our Chancellor, President Thabo Mbeki, who says, because these are times to which Prof. Msweli made reference, terms that call for ethics, ethical behavior. Our Chancellor says, I must say this to you. Even though you may be working in those big offices, now I quote him, even if you've not succeeded, at least you've tried, you haven't stolen anything, and you haven't robbed the people, a close quote. We expect you, as we usher you out, not to rob anybody. May your success always be anchored in integrity. Now, as a vote of thanks in closing, I want to extend my sincere gratitude to all who've made this ceremony possible, from the academics to the administrative staff to the registrar's graduation division, and I must thank in particular the colleague that I missed out earlier, Ms. Mulebatsi, for having served this session. To the families, friends, and guests here today, thank you for journeying with the graduates. And thank you for making UNISA happen. Without your taxes, some of you I know you're actually very unhappy with the taxman, but ultimately that gets to make our graduates and these state organizations like UNISA to exist. Remember that, you make a huge contribution. Thank you, taxpayers. Graduates, please rise now. As you rise, I want to be having you on your feet as I applaud, not just only yourself, but a number of people who were not as privileged as some of us to go to the podium this afternoon. These are Department of Institutional Advancement colleagues, the graduation division across the board, not just those that got to be on the stage, the Department of Facility Management, the members of staff there, some of whom have actually had to come very early this morning when some of you were still asleep to clean this hall, all of whom are black women, to make this hall look like it looks today. I want to thank the Department of Human Resources, ER and Wellness, who have been on standby to ensure that should any one of you get ill, they jump and attend to you. Members of staff, those that I did mention earlier, the Multimedia Center colleagues, without them, you wouldn't have heard us, we wouldn't have actually had this recording done, you would not have been on YouTube immediately after this. That's how efficient we are. And I want to thank our organist, Dr. Isabel van Rensburg. Thank you, Madam. And I must also thank our security staff who ensure that we're safe and who ensure that we actually are here safe all the time and are on guard should anything happen. As you now turn your entire body to your loved ones, please do so. Applaud them and say thank you to them for the unwavering support. And face to the front, my colleagues, because the stage is too small, I couldn't bring all of them here. But we have them on stage this afternoon. These are colleagues who have done a lot of work and represent many others. We've begged you to submit those assignments. We've begged you to bring in the profiles. We've begged for those chapters, screaming and kicking. You were wondering, why did I have to do this? Is my life dependent on it? We've cajoled you. We've tried to love you. We've given you additional chances. We've processed FI consensus. The reason you're here is because of these colleagues. Please thank my colleagues and those that are behind them. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is why in my language we say in many African languages, umuntu, ungumuntu, ngabantu. I am because you are. We are proud to present to you the UNISA class of 2025. Please share your celebrations in the social media. Let's hear your noise and say well done to them. Thank you. You may be seated. red-gowned doctors, newly crowned doctors, so that everybody admires you. You're going to stay behind because we want to capture much more memories because of the pinnacle that you've achieved. On page 25 of your programs, there's a national anthem. We shall sing the national anthem when we are on our feet. And please remain standing as I dissolve the congregation. Thank you. Make us happen all over social media. Thank you. By the virtue of the powers entrusted upon me this afternoon as the Acting Vice-Chancellor, I dissolve this congregation of the University of South Africa.